This is the 1-1 notes on writing strings. In this video, you'll be able to open, save, and organize your projects. You'll be able to print strings. You'll be able to create a new .py file. You'll be able to run and correct the correct PyCharm file when you have multiple files running. You'll be able to comment on your code. You'll be able to comment on the entire section of code in Windows. And you'll be able to use the tab function and the new line functions. Alright, so let's get started. So first off, when you open up your own computer, where you want to open up your last used save file, we're going to save all our files in this little yellow folder down here in the C drive, which is located in the local disk, the little C double dot, that's the C drive. And then inside users, you're going to have your name listed here. I'm going to click on my name, and then there you'll have PyCharm projects, and then we're going to write out all our units as we provide, on paper there on the big screen. So you have unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, stay nice, neat, and organized. And then inside unit 1 we have the 1-1 string, writing strings, and in that 1-1 we have classwork, homework, and notes. And we have our program. So that's where you'll be able to find all your programs in the future, and you can do it step by step. Nice and easy to find. Next, let's talk about where you're going to start. Down here on the bottom you have a little PyCharm icon. You can click that, or you can click the one here on the left hand side if it's on the screen on the left. We're going to click that PC icon, and we're going to bring up PyCharm. And this is where we're going to do a lot of our work, where all our coding is going to be done. On the left hand side is all our files. We should have our units popping up there on the left hand side, as far as unit 1, unit 2, all the way up to unit 9. Sometimes the Python console won't appear on the bottom. I'm going to click it open so you see what that looks like. That's the Python console. We're also going to talk a little bit about the terminal in the course. So you can see on the bottom here, there's also a terminal. And there's also a little problem checking buttons, and some more little extra little things, a little to-do list. But for the most time, we're going to be using the Python console in this class. We're going to have a lot more output. Over here is like the main screen of where your work is going to be. And we're going to be listing out all the .py files up here. And I have the project list. As you can see, since I already have quite a bit of information already in here, you can see that all the different, as you go down, and all the .py files, as we'll be getting there soon too. Alright. Next thing that we're going to talk about is how do you actually create a new project once you have everything all opened up. So what we got to do, in the top left hand corner, make sure you guys can see, is file, and then we go to new project. On the top bar here is the location of where we're going to be saving our new project. And we're going to eventually type in our name too. So what you do, you want to click this folder here, and you can find the location here. You can save where you want to save it. So it's in our C drive, users. You can go to your name. I'm going to double click my name so it opens up. We're going to scroll down to PyCharm projects. We're going to go to unit 1, and then 1-1 writing strings, and then I'm going to save it right in there, 1-1 writing strings, and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to add to it, I'm going to type in / video, because I'm working on the video. And then we're going to hit the create button. And it's going to appear in this window. Might take a second to set the virtual environment up. So now that this virtual environment's all set up, Just to show you, I called this project video. To show you where it was saved, we click that little yellow vanilla folder on the bottom. A little pop-up window appears. All along the left-hand side, we go to local disk, users, your name, PyCharm projects. We're in unit 1. We're in 1.1 writing strings, and here's a little video folder. And inside that little folder, this is where we have our main.py file, which you're going to see right here, main.py. That's this guy right here. In a file location, so it's all saved there. Now, to make sure that you actually save your project, at any point in time, you hit File. You want to hit Save All, so it saves all your .py files. Now, they also like to provide a little information here. You could actually delete it all, so you have a nice start fresh screen. Then once you click your Python console, click that button so that appears on your screen. Now, they tend to already give you, when you start up a new project, they give you the first little main.py file. But let's say we want to create a different .py file. What we would have to go do, we go File, we go down to New, so you go File, and you go to New. Now, instead of left clicking, I want you to right click the New. And we're going to scroll down and highlight the Python file. We're going to click Python file. We're going to type in a name. Why don't you guys type in hello world, HELLO underscore WORLD.py. Now it's important to end our little files with .py. And then we hit enter. And then a hello underscore world.py file appears right there on the top of your screen. Right up there. And we're working in it. You see it's a little highlighted box or a blue underline to tell you which file that you're actually working with. Now, just to repeat myself one more time, what we gotta do to create a new file, we go to File, go down to New. We actually don't left click it, we right click and go down to Python file. And your little pop-up window pops up right here, and we're going to type in any type of name you want. I'm just going to type in new, N-E-W, .py. That's going to be the new.py file. And then the blue line underlines which one .py file that you're working in. As you can see that they appear also here on the left-hand side. So if I want even to do another one, File, right-click on the new. .py file or Python file. Yes, there's other files that we can use, which we'll talk about more later on in the course. A Python file right there. You got it .py, and that appears now too. All right, so let's go to the hello world.py file. So the blue line's underneath that. And we're actually going to type something in now. We're going to actually run a little bit of code. So, with this hello world.py, in the first line, we're going to type in the word print with a lowercase p, open parentheses, and then hello world. End quotes, sorry, before quotes and end quotes, and then close parentheses. Now what we're doing here, we're running a print statement. So what we're saying, we're printing to the Python console screen. And the word print, that's a keyword. That's going to start us off. It's telling the computer what to do. So we're going to hit the, actually make it appear on the console screen. We're going to hit run. And it says run main here. We're actually going to go to the second run. And we're going to run and click hello world, because that's the file that we're working on. So once I run it, it automatically ran for us here on the bottom, but also there's a little play button up here on the right hand corner. We can run it and it prints out hello world. Now what if we wanted to say anything else? We wanted to say goodbye. We run it and it prints out goodbye here. So you're just telling the computer what to do and print out on the printout screen here on the Python console. This would be like the regular computer screen you would see if you were turning it on and it was interacting with the user. And what we're doing back here is like behind the scenes, behind the computer. So we're printing things out. I'll type back in hello world. And run it. Well, voila, you got hello world. And this also works. I use double quotes. Single quotes also work too. We could use a single quote there and a single quote there, and you'll see that it also will run. Won't change a thing. It's still hello world. The reason why we tend to use double quotes though is because when we're writing strings or sentences, we sometimes want to say use a single quote in our sentence. So double quotes tend to be used more often when typing in strings. And when we do that, you can see the single quote appears between the O and the S in hello world. So that's why we tend to use double quotes more often, but you can definitely still use a single quote if your heart desires. It's still possible to do that. Alright, so let's practice what we've been doing here. A little recap. We're going to go File. We're going to create a new .py file. We're going to go say File, right click on the new Python file. Let's call this one combo print state .py. And enter. We're already in combo print state. Let's make a little dog here. We're going to use multiple print lines. I'm going to use a singular quote just for fun. Oh, on the little back of a dog. And then we can really type in whatever we really want. As far as in the strings. We can use any of those keys on the keyboard, any of those little icons and expressions. Alright, now I'm just making a little dog that's way more legs on the dog. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little space. So kind of maybe that's a little head of the dog and the back of the dog and the 4 legs. Now if I click the run button, hello world still appears. That's okay. That means we just made a mistake. We're not actually running the correct file. We're going to have to run combo print state if we want to try to get this little dog. So we go up here, hit the run button, scroll down, not to run hello world, we're going to go that second option of run. And then a little screen pops up and we're going to do run the combo print state. And now we're actually running the combo print state.py file instead of the hello world file. Just be careful on what you want to run. The name, the current file tends to be popping up right here, or the last run file appears right there. And to adjust what you're running, you can always click the run button up here. And then you have a whole list of the .py files that are being used. You can click which one you want to run. So if I want to run the hello world again, I can. Alright, once again I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to do File, right click to New, Python file. I'm going to call this one commenting code .py. So underline there, so we're in the right file. And right here I just wanted to show you how you can comment your code. So how will you go about doing that? We do 3 little quotation marks at the beginning and end. And then you can type in whatever you want. And the computer wouldn't recognize it as just a comment. And it won't actually be any code being run. This is good for taking notes in your program, or when you're sharing programs, you want to leave notes for your coworkers to look at. That helps explain what's going on in your programs, and helps with the communication. This is where you could put your first name, last name when you're putting your name on your project. If you hit enter, you get a whole bunch of lines, and you can make a whole paragraphs of information for you to comment on. If you don't want to do a whole paragraph, you just want to do one little line, you could just do a hashtag, Shift 3 on this keyboard, and probably on most keyboards, and you can make a line. That's a comment too there. So that's another style of commenting you can do if it's just a quick little one-line comment. Next up is if I want to comment an entire section of code out, what we could do, we could grab it all, highlight it, and we hit Control +, and then \. And each line, then a hashtag appears in front of each line. That's just a nice quick little shortcut if you have to comment out multiple sections of code. Alright, last but not least, I want to talk about how do you tab in a string, and how do you do a new line in a string so things print out nice and pretty on your Python console. So what we're going to do, we're going to do File, right click New, and Python File once again, and then I'm going to label it tab.py. That's highlighted right there. And let's say we want to type some things in. So we type in print because we want to print to the console. I'm going to use the double quotes this time. Now let's continue with this hello world and the quotes. Now let's say I wanted to have this ran. Suppose we go run the tab. So run the tab. You see hello world still pops up. Now what if I wanted to tab that in? Like if it's the beginning of a paragraph. What we're going to do, we're going to do \T. It's got a highlight here in orange. As you can see, our string is all in green. The keyword print is in purple. And the little \tab, or /tab, pardon me, will tab that hello world in a little bit. When we run it, see how it just moved a little bit to the right. If I put another one in, it's going to go a little bit further. So on and so forth. Now what if I wanted to have more words down below? It'll also help see what the tab button looks like a little bit more. We're going to do \n for new line. So on the new line, or the next line, we're going to say hi mom. So hi mom appears on the next line underneath the hello world. To get it on the next line, that's when we use the /n. And what follows that will fall onto the new line. Now if I want to do the new line and then tab in the hi mom, we could still do that too. We could do back to back, and you can see that the hi mom was tabbed in. Let's delete the first tabs and run it again. Hello world goes back to its original starting spot, and then the hi mom is tabbed in. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to come to Extra Help or rewatch the video. You have a bunch of little programs you could do. You can practice these little skills, and best of luck. Have a good day. Bye bye.